Stephan, we'll start with you. What do you think about this term Bitcoin culture, and what values or attributes would you give to the definition of a Bitcoin culture?
Yeah, I would say there's a few things that are ideas that are floating out there that most of us think of when we think of Bitcoin culture. One would be this idea, don't trust, verify. This idea that, no one's perfect, but we're trying to make sure that, you don't just fully take everyone at their word, that you actually try and sort the wheat from the chaff, proverbially, and figure things out for yourself where you can. There's this idea of running the numbers, right? This idea that you don't just trust some website, that if you can run the software yourself and check it yourself, well, then that's better. And so that's one idea of Bitcoin culture. I think other aspects of the culture are around education, right? So there's really a focus. So those of us who are really in that hardcore orange pill level are often trying to teach our family and friends. We're doing podcasts, we're writing articles, we're writing books, we're working at Bitcoin companies, we are organizing Bitcoin meetups. We're trying to teach people. And so I think that's also an important aspect. Now, I've recently left Sydney, but up until then, I was a co-organizer for Bitcoin Sydney. So that's another example where I would help organize and try to teach newcomers and new coiners, as we say, some of the values of Bitcoin and ways to think about Bitcoin, and give tips as well from people who have been there and done that as well, and how to secure your own coins. And so part of that is also this idea of not your keys, not your coins, right? So this idea that you want to try to learn how to self-custody for yourself. And so you start small and then you slowly work your way up. So that's an important idea. And I think another aspect of Bitcoin culture is also around trying to keep an open mind and it's sort of a double-edged sword, right? Because our ego can be the thing that drives us to work hard and perform and do well. But at the same time, people who've had a very high ego in Bitcoin have often been cut down at some point because it got the better of them in some way, or in some way, shape, or form. And so perhaps that's another idea, that there's a certain humility to some of the Bitcoin people that you meet, that they don't believe they know everything in the world and all there is to know. They are more like, okay, this is an area that I might know more about, and this is another area where I don't know everything about it. So maybe that's another aspect of it. But it obviously depends who you are speaking to and who you're listening to.
Yeah, absolutely. Nik, what are your comments or thoughts about the values that we espouse or that are inherent in Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. What is Bitcoin culture? Because everyone has their own experience with it. But I think at its core, to me at least, Bitcoin culture is about those that are long Bitcoin and stay long Bitcoin because they recognize its power to change the world. And because if you sell Bitcoin after you buy it, then you were only in it for the gains, and that's okay too, but it doesn't mean that you're part of Bitcoin culture. And I think the longer that you're in Bitcoin, the longer that you own it, the more you recognize why the world needs a non-government digital-based currency, a non-centrally issued digital currency. And so recognizing why we need a non-government currency is Bitcoin culture to me. And it's, essentially what my book is about. Because I've said this a bunch now recently, Bitcoin derives no value from being easy to send online. We have Venmo for that. So why does Bitcoin have value? Why are people long it? Because it's a non-government, non-company issued currency, and we've never had something like this before. So, people that understand that are part of Bitcoin culture to me.
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to add there as well is it does relate as well to this idea of challenging and questioning the idea of government money existence, right? And it tends to, not everyone is a libertarian, but it tends to have a libertarian streak, right? Or at least people have they're somewhat of a fellow traveler, at least in the monetary realm of libertarianism. So I think that's also an aspect of the, Bitcoin people tend to be freedom respecting and freedom valuing people.